Shop Tutorials by Andrew Buckle. In this tutorial I'm just going to show you how you can manipulate and warp patterns, and I'm using Photoshop CC 2014. And first thing to do, I'm just going to go over now to the layer and new fill layer and pattern to actually create that pattern. So click OK, and these ones are from graphicextras.com. There's hundreds and hundreds of patterns on Graphic Extras. Of course you can use any pattern you want. Now the key thing is the transparency. You can see the transparency around the edge there. Now you can actually, I'm going to use smart objects. So as a smart object, you can actually, once you change one of these, you can actually come back to it and change the actual pattern. That doesn't work exactly well. I mean, it depends really on the size of the pattern. You might find that if it's slightly bigger, you'll suddenly get it cropped a bit. Anyway, so it's not a perfect approach, but I'm just going to select that one. So if I select that one, you notice that one's actually quite small compared with that one. Now that will be cropped, will not look as nice, but some will look better than others. Right. Next thing to do, change the scale. So I'm just going to go, because I want a few in there so I can show you. So you've got there, I'll put it to 25%, so you can see a bit more pattern. Now, of course, if I actually go to the Puppet warp now, this just wouldn't work. So you have to convert it to, I'm just going to go to Layer, a Smart Object, convert to Smart Object. So as a Smart Object now, I can actually modify the individual parts using the Puppet Warp. So I'm just going to go there, Puppet Warp. And there you see what happens. Instead of the usual, if you do Puppet Warp normally, you get the whole thing covered with this sort of mesh. You've got Show Mesh there. But you've actually got them individually. So you can actually individually select them. So I'm just going to say I want that one there. Instead of in the pattern, I'm just going to click, you see that little dot there. I can actually select that, and now depending how quick the machine is working, it actually can drag it across. You can just drag it down and move it under there. Just go there. I'm going to select another one now as well. So I'm just select that one, and I can move it down over here. Obviously it's a pattern, they're all the same, so but I'm just moved it around. Make it a bit clearer, I will just say click OK now, and that's that finished. So you can actually see them, there they are, they've actually been moved and just in different positions. So they've been removed from there and removed from there. Well, as I said, it's a smart filter, smart objects. You can actually click on there and modify the pattern. Sometimes works nicely, sometimes doesn't, but it's certainly a way of making a sort of flexible design. So if you've got a similar design, say maybe different colours or something, and you can select that, and then you can just obviously just quickly change it without having to go through the whole warp again.